In Beyond 7 Billion, photographer Rick Loomis takes on a huge global subject and makes it come alive. Overpopulation. After remaining stable for most of human history, the world's population has exploded over the last 2 centuries. And just to make a point, it was not until 1800 that the global population reached 1 billion. By 1934, 2 billion. When I was born 66 years ago, 2.5 billion. The biggest generation in world history is just entering its childbearing years. The coming wave will reshape the planet, and our collective demand for food and water is already testing the planet's ability to sustain us. Population is an issue that has been overshadowed by more immediate stories such as war, famine, poverty, environmental degradation, and climate change. Yet the soaring global population is both a cause and a consequence of these other problems. Rick Loomis traveled to India, Afghanistan, Kenya, Uganda, China, and the Philippines to document the causes and consequences of our soaring population. He zeroed in on the struggles of individuals to illustrate global themes. A married couple in India, still teenagers themselves, who have decided to limit their family to 2 children. A poor Filipino couple whose dream of having just 3 children was dashed when the mayor of Manila banned contraceptives for public health clinics in 2000. Loomis' camera shows us the inner workings of Manila's baby factory, one of the busiest maternal hospitals in the world, where new mothers sleep 2 to a bed. He also lifts the curtain on the thriving clandestine abortion industry in the Philippines. A common theme emerges from Loomis's work. If global population is ever to stabilize, women must control their own fertility. If modern contraception were universally available, it would reduce unattended pregnancies by 2/3. Beyond 7 Billion brings together in one project a multitude of issues that are facing humanity today in a digestible way. The series succeeds in generating thought on a serious, often overlooked subject. What the judges found outstanding is the significant commitment of Rick Loomis and the LA Times to bridge between the platforms of print and online with stills and video around such an ambitious, expansive, and urgent issue. Beyond 7 Million gives us a global perspective on the critical issue that has enormous implications for all of us. We are proud to present the Hillman Prize for Photojournalism to Rick Loomis.
7 billion is a tough number to get your head around. With a story that encompasses the entire world and every living person in it, one can feel crushed by the weight of it all. So when writer Ken Weiss and I embarked on the series, I was feeling a lot of pressure, but I also knew that it was an opportunity of a lifetime. All told, we traveled to several countries and spent weeks in each one of them to create this document. We knew from the outset that we not only wanted to make a splash in the newspaper, but also develop a robust online presence. So the act of taking still images alone was made more complicated in creating video documentaries for this purpose. And with abundant post-production help from my wife, Liz Balin, who's in the audience tonight, thank you, honey, and another producer, Albert Lee, we created almost an hour's worth of video content that complemented the 5-part newspaper series. The project itself centers on the intersection between population and the environment, and honed in on the related questions such as overconsumption, resource depletion, and poverty. But probably the most important topic we covered, and the most difficult to access, was the role that women play in societies around the world. We were, in fact, two Caucasian guys from America trying to access rural huts in Kenya, birthing wards in the Philippines, and women's shelters in Afghanistan. Not an easy task. But we needed to show how women in many places had little choice about the size of their family, scant access to birth control, were less likely to be educated, and had little power over the religious and family pressures that dominate their lives. Through the exploration of this issue, I learned a lot of things, and now I hope to scare you with just a few of the facts. We've already blown past 7 billion people here on Earth, and in the next 30 years, we're projected to add another 2 billion. We'll be adding these people in less developed nations, places where hunger, political instability, and environmental degradation are already pervasive, places where safe water and food production are already problematic. Worldwide, 1 in 10 people now live in slums, and this ratio only promises to head south. But it's not just the poor that will affect their future. It's us. It's the rising middle class and their demands that are also a growing cause for alarm. What we were able to highlight was merely a drop in the bucket regarding the issues we are likely to face if the population continues to rise unchecked. In today's times, it's nearly impossible to pull off a project of this magnitude. I want to thank the Los Angeles Times for continuing to put forth the effort to dig deep on stories that need to be told. I thank my editors, Mary Cooney and Colin Crawford, for the faith and trust they put in me and for their unyielding support in seeing this work through. And I thank the Hillman Foundation for their recognition as it reinforces the idea that no matter how tough the struggle, no matter what length we must go, come hell or high water, we need to produce journalism that both inspires and informs. I'm humbled and honored to stand here among these other award recipients, all passionate people who seem duty-bound to continue the mission in spite of the shrinking resources we face in the journalism community today. Fight on, my esteemed colleagues. Fight on. Thank you.